Welcome everybody to another episode of Universe Mode here on WWE 2k22. In episode 10, we're here with another installment of NXT, as this is the go-home show before the special episode next week, NXT in Your House. So we'll have to see what happens on the final stop before the big show next week for our developmental brand. So if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more wrestling content. This week on tonight's show, we're going to start off with Wesley going one-on-one against Solo Sikoa. Joaquin Wilde of Legado del Fantasma will face the North American champion Cameron Grimes for Santos Escobar does next week. Braun Breaker, the champion, gets a warm-up match against Duke Hudson before his title defense next week. A big six-man tag match, Imperium versus Diamond Mine. And then our main event, the NXT Women's Championship, Tag Team Championship is on the line. Raquel Rodriguez and Dakota versus the former champions, Toxic Attraction. Solo Sikoa is victorious, as well as Cameron Grimes and Braun Breaker as they get ready for the next week's show. We'll touch more on Solo Sikoa in a bit, but now it's time for Imperium versus Diamond Mine. These two teams have had issues with each other ranging back for months, and it comes to a head here tonight in our big six-man tag team clash. Making their way to the ring first is Diamond Mine. Now, speaking of these two teams, they will be in action next week at NXT in Your House, where the vacant NXT Tag Team Championship will be on the line. As the graphic pops up on your screen now, it'll be Diamond Mine's Creed Brothers versus Imperium's Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championships. The winners of the Dusty Cup this year versus the former champions in a big-time clash. It was one of the main matches in next week's show. But this week, an opportunity to get bragging rights, as Diamond Mine will go up against a very formidable trio who has run rampant since their inception. It is Imperium. Gunther, Marcel Bartel, and Fabian Eichner stand on the ramp as they make their entrance into this one. A lot of accolades to go along with this trio. You got Gunther, the longest reigning NXT United Kingdom champion of all time. Eichner and Bartel, former NXT Tag Team champions. You know they'd like to get that back as they make their way to the ring for this big six-man tag team clash. Now, it will be Eichner and Bartel going at it next week at In Your House. Gunther does not have a match on next week's show, but you have to think he's going to be rooting on his boys as they look to bring back the titles to Imperium, as they restore honor to this great sport and they protect the sacred NXT mat. Now, as Imperium makes their way into the ring, we've seen these teams go at it quite a few times. Diamond Mine's picked up some victories. We've seen Gunther in the past get a victory over Roderick Strong in singles competition, as it looks like one of the Creed brothers on the apron. That is Bruce Creed trying to get in the face early of Imperium as they strike their signature pose in the center of the ring. But it's time now for big six-man tag team action. It looks like it will be Roderick Strong and Gunther starting it off in a big-time clash, and they go right to it. As the bell rings, they jumpstart each other as Roderick Strong throws Gunther into his own corner, and Julius Creed will make the tag, and one half of the Creed brothers will come into the ring. Now, Gunther, obviously the big 6'5" behemoth, the former United Kingdom champion we mentioned a second ago. He's actually going to make the tag now to Fabian Eichner. And now it'll be Eichner and Creed, one half of both teams that we will see next week, as there's a nice package driver by Julius Creed that drives Eichner into the mat. He's going to slide in for the pin. It's 2, but Eichner kicks out at 2.5. And Diamond Mine looks to get in the ring. They're going to get right back out. Eichner now kicking off Julius Creed as he goes back to the Creed brother, picks him up to his feet, and he's going to lock him up, look to whip him into his own corner. Bartel also got jumped on the outside as well, so he has yet to make his way to the apron, as now Gunther makes the tag back in the ring general with the backdrop. Now he looks to take control of one half of the Creed brothers. But Julius Creed will sling Gunther off his feet, and now look to work away on the former UK champion. Now, Julius Creed and Brutus Creed, they're a relatively new tag team to NXT. but they've come with a lot of success. They have yet to win the titles, but they did win the Men's Dusty Cup this year, which is a huge accolade for them, as Julius Creed tried a double axe handle off the top. Gunther just meets him with the right hand, and now is just going to go in for a pin. Gets 2, and Roderick Strong actually had to get in the ring and break that one up. Aichner now will throw Strong out of the ring, just dispose of the Diamond Mine leader. As now Julius Creed and Gunther back to work. There's a nice belly-to-belly slam by Julius, and he tags in his brother Brutus. 2 amateur wrestling background stars as they look to work away on the mat of the ring general. Now Brutus stomping away on that left arm. Brutus Creed, also one half of the Creed brothers. They were victorious. Remember that Dusty Cup beat the former champions MSK in the finals, and they never got their tag team one-on-one match. If you remember, they got jumped. When they were supposed to have it, there's a big boot from Gunther in the back. We still have not figured out who jumped the Creed brothers, but they lost their opportunity that night. As now Roderick Strong gets right back in the ring. He's just going to kick Gunther low, and Gunther's not going to like that. Just completely clotheslines Roderick Strong out of his boots as he rolls outside the ring, and Brutus takes control thanks to this distraction from Strong. The Creed brothers never got their one-on-one tag team opportunity for the titles. Well, they're going to get it next week at In Your House when they take on Imperium, who are the former champions. That is why this match has come to fruition. MSK had to vacate the titles, so the Creed brothers get an opportunity for being the Dusty Cup winners, and Imperium gets an opportunity because they are the former champions. And I think this is the biggest tag team match that we could put on currently in NXT, and I think General Manager Triple H agrees with that one. Fabian Aichner will make his way into the ring, and he will meet Brutus Creed in the center. He's going to get him up on his shoulders, but Creed out the back will plant Fabian Aichner into the ring. So Brutus, one half of the Creed brothers, looking to take control here. He's going to look to drag Aichner back over to his corner and just drives him head first into the mat. But Eichner's going to fight out, not going to let Brutus Creed make the tag, as there's a nice uppercut that knocks the big man off his feet. He's going to go into the cover. He gets 1, 2, but there's a kick out at 2, as both teams actually stay in their corners during the pin. Now Aichner with Creed back to his feet. He's going to whip him into his own corner, look to make the tag to Gunther, but his first. Going to put Brutus Creed on top of the turnbuckle. Knocks him off the turnbuckle, does not make the tag, as Aichner working away on Creed. I think Brutus Creed needs a tag soon as he goes head first into his own turnbuckle. And Aichner's going to whip him into his partner's corner. Not sure if that's a good idea. Brutus Creed fights out, does not make a tag as he starts to gain some momentum. And he's going to look for that same move that Julius hit earlier, but nice Northern Lights suplex counter by Fabian Aichner. That is part of the reason why they are former tag team champions. Gunther makes his way into the ring. He's more worried about winning a singles title here in NXT, and honestly, with Gunther's power and ability, I only think it's a matter of time before Gunther is a champion once more in NXT, as there's a nice float over by Brutus looking for that DDT, but Gunther will fight out of it. A couple of shots to the midsection. You got to watch the hands of Gunther as he gets a double underhook suplex. Nice throw by Gunther as he throws Brutus into his own corner. Brings the big man back to his feet, just going to throw him once more into the corner, but Brutus once more going to fight out of it. Gunther, though, counters. There's a nice chop. Makes the tag to Aichner as Brutus continues to be worked down by Imperium. Aichner now stomping away on Brutus. You see Roderick Strong did reach out his arm for a tag, but that's a long way to go if you're Brutus. Aichner wants Brutus back to his feet off the second rope. There's a nice jumping DDT that drops one half of the Creed brothers. Imperium looking to gain control and head some momentum into next week's clash. But Brutus fights out of the suplex attempt. He backs up Aichner, going to drag him into his corner. This might be the opening that Brutus needs, and he makes the tag. Now one half, the other half, Julius Creed into the ring, the fresher of the two halves, as he hits a shot to Fabian Aichner. Now hits a nice double underhook German suplex. The foot is actually on the ropes. I don't think the ref quite saw that. That should have technically been a rope break, as both members of the teams get into the ring, and this one's starting to break down. Gunther gets dumped to the outside by Roderick Strong. You know, there's plenty of bad blood there. Julius Creed and Aichner continue to fight in the ring, while Roderick Strong and Gunther are still on the outside, and they're actually going at it. You can't see it off camera. Let's get a cameraman over in that corner. You can see it Strong just working away on Gunther. Right hands to the face. Now Strong back on the apron. So is Gunther as we pick this one up a minute later. Aichner now with the right hand shot to Julius Creed. Drops him in his own corner. Continues to stomp away. This 6-man tag match continues to heat up. One of these teams wants bragging rights and wants the NXT Tag Team Championships just a week from now. Aichner gets Julius back to his feet. He's going to drag him into his own corner. Dumps him maybe for the ring general. Does not. Bartel not on the ring apron. Very odd. Hopefully he is okay. As Aichner now just turns his attention to Strong. I don't think there was a tag made there, but I don't think Aichner matters as there is a spinning powerbomb to Roderick Strong. And he actually is the legal man. He did make a tag on Brutus Creed. I don't know if I quite saw that. Aichner is a little upset that the Creed brothers got involved. But that's a 6-man tag team match for you. Plenty of action. Aichner now measuring Strong again. Another kick to the midsection. I think he's looking for that spin out powerbomb again. And he connects. Strong driven right in the center of the ring. Ref into the cover. Maybe a little slow into position. And Strong will kick out at 2.5. Aichner doesn't like it. He might have to agree with him. I think the ref was a little bit slow into position there. If he would have got there a little faster, maybe he would have had it. Now Aichner going to go into his bag again. This time flips him over into a powerbomb, but does not hold the pin attempt. Instead, he's going to continue to work away on Strong. I think maybe he thought one half of the Creed brothers, Julius, would have got involved. Brutus still on the outside. He's fighting away with Gunther. As we mentioned, no love lost between these two trios. Aichner working away on the back of Strong. Here comes Brutus out of nowhere with a shotgun drop kick. Forces Aichner to break the hold. He's just going to throw Brutus out of the ring. As Strong, though, it buys him some time to gain advantage as Aichner gets spun off his feet. So a nice distraction. But Aichner's just going to counter with a boot to the face. Now Julius back up on the apron. Strong slips out the back, looking from behind. There's a shot to the back of the spine. Pump handled, backbreaker as he drops him across his knee. And now Roderick Strong takes control, but Aichner's counters back. Now Gunther into the ring. He actually just gets right out. And Aichner once more measuring Roderick Strong. Strong, though, scouted this time. Didn't want to get hit for the third time as there's a kick to the face of Fabian Aichner. This match heated up. All sorts of action. This has been a good one as there's a ripcord knee. And Strong will make the tag to Julius. And Gunther will make the tag for Imperium. So two fresh bodies back into this one. Julius meets both of members of Imperium and just drops him with right hands. As Aichner will make the long roll to the other side of the ring. Julius, though, cuts him off, but Gunther will save his tag team partner. He picks up Julius, drives him head first, snake eyes into the corner. And now Julius Creed in a bad position, seated in the corner, while the big Austrian just ripping boots right across the face of Julius, just looking to rearrange his facial structure. Bartel is okay. He's standing on the outside. He's just not on the apron. We got a shot of him there, so good to see that Marcel Bartel was not injured in the melee. As here's a half crab attempt by Aichner, but Strong is quickly into the ring to break that one up. This match has been going on for a long time. You have to think both teams just need one big move, and they just need to get the other members a little bit damaged so they can make the final pin. As here's Gunther looking for a huge power bomb. He hits it, and he actually holds on. Another power bomb to Julius Creed. Gunther not done with a triple power bomb into the mat. What power from Gunther is now he just whips Julius Creed back into his corner. He makes the tag to Aichner. Looking for a little bit of tandem offense here. Double backdrop, and Julius Creed goes for the ride. Aichner now into the pin. Looking for 3, and he gets it. Julius Creed gets pinned after the double backdrop. Very shocking end to the match. I think both members, or all members of the team, were just taking a lot of damage, and Julius Creed didn't have any left in the tank. I think his Diamond Mine partners thought he might get out of it, so therefore they did not interfere. But Imperium picks up the big win, and it's Fabian Aichner picking it up over Julius Creed. Well, we see that next week. If we do, Imperium is your new NXT Tag Team Champions. A big win for the members of the Sacred Mat. But now Now it is time for our main event of the evening. Another championship clash here on the docket for you guys tonight, as it'll be the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships on the line here in our main event. And making their way to the ring are the former Tag Team Champions in Toxic Attraction. Gigi, Dolin, Jacy, Jayne making their way to the ring, accompanied by the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose. They are Toxic Attraction. As both of these women wanting their NXT Women's Tag Team Championships back, and Triple H did oblige. Now they do get the rematch, as Triple H I think just thought that they deserved a rematch, so we'll have to see if Dolin and Jayne can take advantage of the opportunity, but they have a tall task in front of them. And speaking of tall task, no pun intended, here comes one half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Raquel Rodriguez, as she makes her way to the ring. Now a two-time champion we saw at NXT Stand and Deliver. She reunited with Dakota Kai, and they were able to capture the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. Raquel Rodriguez, former NXT Women's Champion as well. So a very accomplished performer here in NXT, one of the strongest competitors on the roster, as she looks to make a successful title defense tonight. And making her way to the ring is Raquel Rodriguez's partner, the captain of Team Kick, Dakota Kai, the longtime member of NXT, now also a two-time NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. They were the first ever Women's Tag Team Champions, if you remember, Dakota Kai and Raquel Rodriguez. It's come a long way since Dakota Kai, remember, went on the long losing streak, lost a championship opportunity against her former partner, or her partner now, Raquel Rodriguez, and ever since that went on a losing streak. Or fortunately for her, it was Wendy Choo who found Dakota Kai in the back, offered her a spot as her tag team partner in the Dusty Cup, and that allowed Dakota Kai to make a friend. And Wendy Choo, you got to give her credit for getting Dakota Kai out of this funk, and because of it, she was able to recapture the Women's Tag Team Championships with her former associate, now once more tag team champions, as it is a big-time championship clash here tonight. Toxic Attraction, Gigi, Dolin, and Jacy, Jayne want their titles back. We'll have to go through the two-time champions, Dakota Kai and Raquel Rodriguez. Third straight week with a championship clash. It is the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships on the line, as belts are held high. Will Rodriguez and Kai make a successful title defense, or will Toxic Attraction regain the titles? It's underway. We're about to find out here in our main event of the evening. Raquel Rodriguez and Gigi Dolin start off for their respective teams, as Dolin locks up Raquel Rodriguez. I apologize for my dog in the background. He just wanted to say hi during this broadcast. Raquel Rodriguez fights out of Gigi Dolin's attempt, and now there's a nice kick to the midsection as she looks to regain control. Now Raquel Rodriguez, yes, used to be known as Raquel Gonzalez, but has instead changed her name, going for the R&R approach, as she makes the tag to Dakota Kai, the other member of this tag team, the other two-time NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Now if you remember their first defense, it lasted all of like 30 minutes, as they were crowned the very first ever Women's Tag Team Champions, and they lost that title the same night. So Dakota Kai and Raquel Rodriguez hoping for a little bit of a different turn of events here tonight, as they look for successful title defense number one. Now, people always say you can win the championship, but can you defend it? We'll find out tonight if Raquel Rodriguez and Dakota Kai can, as here comes Jayne into the contest. Dakota Kai kicks her in the midsection, kick to the legs. Here is the captain of Team Kick. She knows she's going to utilize her legs as she spins Jacy, Jayne around, picks her up, and she's going to drive her headfirst snake eyes into the boots as Dakota Kai takes control. She's going to make a tag to her tag team partner. Frequent tags being made here by the champions, as Raquel Rodriguez meets up with Jayne, and he's going to dump her to the outside. As remember, in order to win the titles, you got to pin or submit the champions in the ring. Any count out, whether it be for the champions or against the champions, they will continue the title holds. As there's a tag to Dakota Kai, As that gave Raquel Rodriguez the space to make that tag. As here's Dakota Kai with a couple of kicks, and Jayne actually falls into the ropes. And Dakota Kai and the champions holding control here in the early going. This is a rematch, remember, from NXT Stand and Deliver. As Jayne now, as being a part, or picked apart by the champions. Nice double hip toss, nice double kick to Jayne. As Raquel Rodriguez once again takes control. Jayne will sweep Rodriguez off of her feet. As Toxic Attraction, they have been running roughshod over the NXT Women's Division since coming into formation. Mandy Rose, is the NXT Women's Champion. We saw her retain that title just last week against Wendy Chu. And Toxic Attraction would love to rehold all the gold, as there's Raquel Rodriguez with a big slam down on Gigi Dolin. Gonna lift her up now to her feet and just throw her halfway across the ring. That is the strength on display by Rodriguez as she makes the kick or tag to Dakota Kai. Gigi, though, looking to fight out of this. She needs to make a tag as she whips Kai into the corner. Gigi Dolin, very accomplished performer, has really found into her own since coming under the tutelage of Mandy Rose. And this is a very cohesive unit. Don't think just because Mandy Rose is the leader that she takes advantage of her associates. No, this is a very heavy trio. They like to work together. They do everything together. They tan, they go to the beach, they go to the pool. They do everything together, especially with springtime heating up. These three competitors will be by their side a lot. As now here goes Raquel Rodriguez throwing the now Jacy Jayne legal competitor into the ring. As Raquel Rodriguez on the top rope looked for a double axe handle, but Jayne counters with a shot to the midsection, and now a splash down on Rodriguez. How about another one? Another splash down on Raquel as Toxic Attraction takes control. Rodriguez back to her feet, though. As you can see, Dakota Kai and Gigi Dolin fighting on the outside. Rodriguez tried to catch Jayne mid-flight, could not. Instead, gets back to her feet and just meets her with a big boot to the face. That's one way to slow down some offense. Now a kick to the midsection, but Jayne back in control. Lifts Raquel off her feet. Look at this power being displayed by Jacy Jayne, the former Women's Tag Team Champion. Hangs Raquel Rodriguez up on the rope. She makes the climb to the top rope. Kai and Dolin still fighting away on the outside. Mandy Rose looking on. She has yet to get involved in this matchup. As Raquel Rodriguez puts Jayne in the corner, is going to look for that big splash. Poses and hits it. Drives her body into Jacy Jayne. Flips her over now, going for a pin. Will the champions retain? The ref has two, and there's a kick out at 2. Raquel Rodriguez thought she had it there. Gonna need a little bit more offense, though, if you want to win this matchup. As I like what her game plan is, though. Staying on the offense. Throws Jayne into the corner. She's now going to set her up for a little bit of tag team offense. Kai gets back in the ring, and there's a double shoulder tackle. As the champions looking good here. Toxic Attraction has had some spurts here and there, but it's been mostly the champions dominating this one. So it's good to see that Rodriguez and Kai, despite their differences in the past, have that team chemistry as Kai lines her up for the boots. As Jayne goes down in the corner, Dakota Kai looking good here in the middle part of this matchup, looking to put her opponent away. But Jayne, though, does have a foot underneath the rope. This time the ref does see the boots and the rope make a connection. But Kai, though, I think posed for a little bit too long there as she allowed Gigi Dolin to get in the ring as Jayne rolls to the outside. But Kai, though, I think she was ready for it. She kicks Dolin in the back as now takes control, but Dolin will lift Kai off of her feet, and she's going to push her into the corner and just throw her down. Gigi Dolin, another very accomplished performer, as she looks to drive Dakota Kai into the mat, and now just raining down some right hands. In the mount position, just strikes right to the face, counts it off with a slap. Now Dolin going for the cover. 1, 2. We have new champions. No, we do not. Dakota Kai kicks out at 2. Now, Toxic Attraction would love to have the belts back, but Kai gonna meet her and flip her over head first into the mat. As Dakota Kai picks up Gigi Dolin. Now Kai gonna drag her to her own corner. Looks to make the tag to Rodriguez. She does. Plenty of frequent tags by the champions. There's a nice boot to the face. Like I said earlier, just showing that good chemistry that they have always had Dolin looking to fight out of it. A couple of kicks. There's a nice roundhouse kick that knocks Raquel Rodriguez off her feet and allows her to make the tag to Jayne. Hopefully Jayne's had enough time to recover. And it looks like she has. She just throws Raquel Rodriguez across the ring and now just starts to rain down kicks. Raquel, though, back to her feet. Gets slammed down for her troubles, though. Nice bit of power being shown by Jayne. I didn't think she had, but that's not going to help you out. A boot from Rodriguez drops her in one move as Raquel drags her to her own corner. Does not make the tag. Instead, looking to set her up in position again for that slam down. And she will connect this time on Jayne. Doesn't go for the cover, though. Instead, gets Jayne back to her feet. Connects with a couple of lefts and a couple of rights. But Jayne, though, counters with a knee to the midsection. Championship hanging in the balance. Who is going to walk away with the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships heading into In Your House next week. Rodriguez getting the advantage here on Jayne, but both competitors going back and forth. Just picks her up and drives the knee right into the spine and continues to stretch her out over the knee. That's putting a lot of pressure on that lower spine. Raquel Rodriguez drags her into the center of the ring. Going to try to roll her over for a pin. As Dolin, though, gets in the ring, as she will break up the count on her partner. Kai, though, into the ring will dispose of Dolin to the outside, so that will help. As Rodriguez gets control of Jayne. There's a nice counter, though, by the former champion. Lifts Raquel once again off of her feet. Just continue knees into the spine and just throws her across the ring. Jacy Jayne with tremendous power being displayed is now lining up Raquel Rodriguez. Will this be enough as she whiffed, it looked like, on the kick? It gives Raquel Rodriguez enough time to connect with a clothesline to the back of the head. Maybe a costly error there by Jayne. I don't know if she glimpsed her or just grazed her, but it allowed Dakota Kai to make the tag. Definitely didn't get all of the boots as Jayne now widely just looking to connect. This time does connect with a right hand to the temple. Jayne, though, gets Dakota Kai back to her feet. Another very good matchup here. We've seen plenty of good tag team action on this episode as Kai lifts up Jacy Jayne and just drives her with a choke slam across the knee. Dakota Kai now asking Jayne to get to her feet, lining her up as she has Jacy Jayne up on her shoulders and drives the kick, the foot right into the face, into the cover. This is to retain the championship. We got a 1, 2, and no, a kick out at 2.5 by Jayne. Tremendous resiliency being displayed. That is what the championship is all about. Dakota Kai, though, still on the offense. She's going to line her up for that kick. Make her way around the ring, and no, this time Jacy Jayne will move out. Kai connects with the turnbuckle. There's a right hand. Jayne picks up Kai on her shoulder and will drive her down into the mat. And Toxic Attraction takes control. Now Dolin tags in. Kai there to meet her in the ring. They tie up. And it goes underneath. There's a kick to the arm. Dakota Kai utilizing those legs. Now has Gigi up on her shoulder. And there's a kick to the face, this time of Gigi. Kai falls into the cover, though, right in front of Jacy Jayne. So she will break up that attempt. As Kai now looks to dispose of Jacy Jayne. She will. And this is your chance if you're Dakota Kai. You got to put away Dolin here. I think Kai realizes that. Dolin gets back to her feet. Dakota Kai's popped up on the top rope, but misses with a missile drop kick. Another costly mistake, this time on the part of the champions. It allows Dolin to get Kai up on top of the shoulders and drives her down with a power bomb. Toxic Attraction taking control now. Maybe minutes away from recapturing the tag team championships. Kai gets hung up on the top rope, falls to the outside, and Dolin will use this opportunity to catch her breath. Now she'll go to the outside once she sees Dakota Kai start to get back to her feet. I think that's a good strategy. Don't give Dakota Kai time. And is now just going to walk away on the outside. Ref is up to a 2 count. Both competitors have to the count of 10. As Dolin and Kai start to fight on the outside. And there's a nice shot to the back of the head of Dakota Kai. Kai, I think, needs a tag soon, as Raquel Rodriguez hasn't been in this matchup for quite a while. Ref is up to a count of 5. Dolin will just go in the ring to break the count, and she'll go right back to the attack. She whips Kai into her partner, but Kai is going to fight out of it and connect with a couple of kicks. That drives Gigi off her feet. Now Kai going to attack Mandy Rose on the outside. We have yet to talk about Mandy in this one, but this time it's Kai getting the jump on the champion. I think she thought it was only a matter of time before Mandy Rose gets involved, so why not take care of the issue yourself? However, that might have allowed Gigi to find an opening as she drives Dakota Kai into the mat. And now rains down right hands right into the face of the champion. More right hands. This has got to start to work away on the head and neck areas. We've seen Kai get connected with a couple of fists and some clotheslines from behind. But Dakota Kai makes the tag to Raquel Rodriguez, the fresher competitor in the ring. Shot to the face of Dolin, but Dolin will fight out of it. Now she goes a double underhook from behind and will drive Raquel into the mat. And she will make a tag to Jacy Jayne. This match starting to hit into the championship minutes as both teams showing some endurance in this one. Who will put the other one away? Now Rodriguez has Jayne tied up in the Tree of Woe as she drives her boot right into the chin of Jayne. As it looks like it is Raquel Rodriguez and Dakota Kai getting the advantage in this one. But Jayne will fight out of it. A couple of elbows to the rib cage of Rodriguez. How do you get rid of the power game? Well, you take out the abdomen. Take out where that breath and that strength, that core strength is going to come from. And Rodriguez has to make a tag. Dakota Kai back in the ring. I don't know if Kai has had enough minutes to get her breath back, but she's taking it to Jayne. Drives Jayne head first into the turnbuckle. I think Kai might have been trying to line her up for that kick again, but Jayne sees it, and she's going to counter with a clothesline into the corner. Kai knocked off of her feet, and now Jacy Jayne goes into the cover on Kai. Rodriguez nowhere to be seen, but Kai kicks out after a 1. Makes the tag to Dolin. Toxic Attraction taking control. Who will walk away with the championship? This has been a very hard-fought contest, but Dolin connects on Kai with the German suplex. Modified shoulders are down. Rodriguez in the ring, but it's only a 2 count. Kai did kick out, but it did not look very impressive. Now Dolin lining up. Kai's going to hit her with a sunset move. There's a 1. There's a 2. Rodriguez gets there in just the nick of time. Breaks up the pin. But Jayne throws Rodriguez to the outside. Dolin still in control. Working away on Dakota Kai. Continues to work away on the legs. There's a couple of stomps. Now rearing back on that left knee. Puts plenty of pressure on those knee joints. Dolin lifts Kai up to her feet. Another kick to that damaged knee. But now Kai connects with a right kick. Dolin though, nice suplex attempt, holds the bridge, has Kai down, and that is going to be 3. Dolin gets the pin on Dakota Kai. We have new tag team champions. Toxic Attraction gets it done, and they have regained the tag team titles in a very hard-fought battle, but they're not done. Jacy Jayne stomps away. This is uncalled for now. Dolin taking it to Kai. We saw that knee. We saw the head shots, and they continue to work away. Now Jayne and Rodriguez on the outside going at it. Jayne drives a knee right into the back of Gonzalez. And back in the ring, Dolin continued to working away on Dakota Kai. Toxic Attraction trying to send a message. Now a steel chair being introduced into the equation. And Dolin going to drive it right into that left knee. Oh, this could be terrible. This could tear some ligaments. Rodriguez is on the outside. There's nothing she can do as more steel chair shots to the knee of Kai. Toxic Attraction sending a message, trying to put Dakota Kai on the shelf as Dolin celebrates her actions, despicable actions. But wait, that's Cora Jade making her way into the ring. She's here to offer her assistance. But that's all we have time for in this one as they stare each other down. A hectic into the show, but we have new tag team champions in the women's division. But next time out NXT, it will be In Your House, the television special. We have 5 great matchups, and this one just made official. Toxic Attraction will take on the team of Wendy Choo, Cora Jade, and Raquel Rodriguez. Dakota Kai will not be a part of that matchup. A huge 6-woman tag match. Also, as we talked about this one last week. Cameron Grimes puts the North American Championship on the line against Santos Escobar. Escobar holds a pinfall victory over Grimes. Will Grimes be able to get that win back? Also, speaking of North American Championships, the former champion Carmelo Hayes will go one-on-one against Solo Sikoa. We have not seen Hayes since losing the title, while Solo Sikoa has racked up some wins. Who will get the win and a leg up in that encounter? Next up, the match we've talked about, the NXT Tag Team Championship is on the line. The Creed brothers take on Imperium. We are going to crown a new champion next week. Will it be the Diamond Mine or will it be Imperium? Finally, the main event clash of next week. It is Braun Breaker putting the NXT Championship on the line against Tony D'Angelo. We've seen this one get personal fast. Who will walk away the champion? Will Braun Breaker make his first title defense? Or will the new Don of NXT add gold around his waist? So I'll find out next week. But before we get there, next Monday on Raw, we talked about it last night. Bobby Lashley calls out the Tribal Chief. Will Roman Reigns answer Bobby Lashley? We'll have to find out next week on Raw. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure you drop that like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more wrestling content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.